I want to tell you about one of the biggest mistakes I made when I was in Korea. I had only been at Hyundai Motor for about a month. I was the only American there, and so I had a lot to get used to. But my Korean coworkers had a lot to get used to as well. One day, two junior Korean colleagues came up to me and said, "Sir, we have a problem. We don't know what to call you." I said, "Well, what do you mean?" And they said, "Well, if you were Korean, we would call you Aaron's Isa, which is Aaron's director in Korean. But because you're American, we don't know if you want to be called that, or Mr. Aaron's, or something else." And it was right then that I made my big mistake by saying only three little words. Call me Frank. In the West, we are taught to flatten the management structure, to make everyone feel equal, part of a team. But in the East, it's a hierarchical culture. Someone is always your senior, and somebody is always your junior. And so, when I had said, "Call me Frank," two bad things happened. The first was, they didn't want to call me Frank. It made them feel uncomfortable. They didn't want to call a senior executive by his first name. But the second thing ran a bit deeper. When I told my Korean team members to call me Frank, well, they suddenly felt like they worked on a lower status team than all the other teams at headquarters. Why is that? Because none of the other bosses wanted to be called by their first names. They all wanted to be called by their formal titles, their last name and their job title. So by trying to do the thing that I thought was right, I was doing exactly the opposite thing. This mistake took me some time to get right. It was a tough cross-cultural management lesson, one of many that I absorbed. It was only three little words I had said, but they had made a big impact. I'm Frank Ahrens. International business success is based on intelligence, communication, and cultural insight, knowing who you are, what you want to say, and who your audience is. I've helped international corporations and governments all around the world tell their stories and get smarter about the markets they operate in. I hope you'll let me help you too. Thank you.